Hi everyone, welcome to Scribble Time with Panda. I'm your host Nolan, and today we are drawing the Incredibles, Pandas as Incredibles. So I am going to be drawing my character. So if you haven't seen my these type of videos before, I am the creator of Punching Pandas. It's my own original character, and I've written a couple books with the characters and made prints, merchandise, even plushies. And so what I do on this channel is basically provide a draw along live stream session for those of you watching, so that you guys can follow along, maybe even ask me some questions, just hang out for the next hour. And I also provide these sketches after the show to as free coloring sheets on my website at punchingpandas.com/scribbletime. So you guys can go there. There's a link in the description, and you can find that below. So I'm just trying to save something here really quick, just a folder, so that I don't show off my whole computer folder system, in case you guys want to hack. No thank you. And let's get going. So usually I draw in Photoshop, and that's kind of what I have done. That's what I grew up using. And but occasionally from time to time we actually draw with traditional materials. And so let me just switch over right now, and we'll get to drawing. So the Incredibles, let's get started here. And let me throw my thumbnail up there actually. There we go. Hello. Okay, so usually with my character looks something like a round town chubby marshmallow. So I just have this is my character. This is a really quick sketch, and this is what I normally, this is my template. So basically it's a nice little exercise for me to, practice adapting different characters. And in some ways it could be potential product design if, say, I make these into vinyls and have all the studio companies come to me to make panda versions of my character. Of course, not really, but let's get started. So Incredibles, let's go with the Parr family. So I'm going to start with we'll have So The Incredibles, of course, if you have never seen the movie, it's basically about a family of superheroes that superheroes have been sent down into the underground after by society, because superheroes cause a lot of damage, and they're liable for they became liable for damages even though they would save people. And so they all kind of went underground. And so you have this family that of 5 where everyone has superpowers. So the father is Bob Parr. He's Mr. Incredible. He's got super strength. Then there's Elastigirl, his wife, who can stretch and elongate. There is the oldest daughter, Violet. She has invisibility powers and force shields, so similar to Sue Storm from Fantastic Four. I should do a Fantastic Four theme sometime. Well, we'll do that later. So, and then Dash is the hyper energetic son, who is ultra fast. And then finally there's Jack, who is the baby of the family, but he has multiple powers at the moment, because he's a baby, and I guess when you're younger you have the powers haven't set in yet, so they're pretty much all over the place. But he can multiply, he can change into different materials, he can change size. He's pretty much got all the powers. He can change. He can set himself on fire. He can have laser eyes. But it's one of my favorite. I think it's one of my favorite Pixar movies. I probably would put it at like number 2 for me. Toy Story is still number 1. So so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna just flip him over. I feel like I need to like flip him like this. So this is going to be a pretty messy sketch, as you can already tell. Maybe I can have the Bob down here. I think Helen. Let's see. Is it Helen? I forgot. If that's Elastigirl's real name. But I know she has a pretty cool like. Oh yeah, Helen. Yeah, it is Helen. I'm right. Yeah. Okay, I got it. Let's see. Let's flip it over to this side so at least I get her hair. I just really love the character designs in this movie, and it had a big influence for me artistically. Once I saw like Lou Romano's color boards, it's pretty inspirational for me because I think one of the things that it opened my eyes about was like, oh, you don't have to draw in a hyper realistic style. You know, like it's a very graphic. Everything in the movie is very has a very unique geometric design to it, very cartoon sensibility. But you know, you still get an emotional journey for it. I think the thing that's kind of been interesting, I saw like this Luke Cage comic review, and I think one of the things that the reviewer was talking about was, or didn't really like, was like how cartoony it felt. And but I kind of come from like an animation sensibility, so I feel like I like the stretched sense of like the cartoony sensibility, and there's always this discussion amongst artists about why can't animation move out of children's type of properties when it comes to storytelling here in the West. But in Japan you can see very like cartoony style, but they tackle a whole different type of different types of stories that are not necessarily kid friendly. Not in the sense like it has to be edgy, but it's like, oh, you can do stuff like noir, you can do action, you can do sci-fi, but it tends to feel very focused around a certain type of story, where it's like it's mostly family friendly stuff, and it's like you're not really gonna have too much risk when it comes to telling a story. But yeah, sorry, I keep forgetting, like their masks don't go. They don't wrap around their heads. Yeah. But there's just some pretty neat things about that movie that just feel like you remember. I feel like it feels more memorable than most animated films out there because I think it had more to say. It had more care taken into it in terms of like making it feel like, yeah, feel like that there's certain moments in there, like there's certain scenes that you just remember and that have, that aren't just like people talking, but it's also like there's a point to each scene. Okay, so we got Bob and Helen and Jack. Next we got, let's see here. I need to move Mr. Incredible's head a little bit like this. Make it feel a little bit more burly. Get that little logo there. It's definitely I feel like there's definitely a bit that I can relate to with this movie after having taken care of my son and staying at home. Definitely a big transition, especially during Incredibles 2. That was something that felt that I could relate to a lot. With some of the scenes where Bob had to stay at home and take care of his family. We have Jack. Yeah, I probably won't do that. I'm just gonna keep it open like that. Alright. Well, I can't believe it's Friday already. I mean, I was thinking about doing Fan Friday for today, but I was gonna take a break from that. So next week we're gonna do Fan Friday. So if you guys have anything you guys would like to share, if you are coming across this and you're an artist yourself and you would like to see your drawings transformed into pandas, or maybe you have drawn a panda and you just want to see my take on it, feel free to just tag your post with punchingpandas.com or Fan Friday, Fan Friday, and then I'll add it to the queue, and then we can show your work off. Okay, then she has like these force fields. I'm gonna need to change this fist a little bit. I'll shrink this just slightly so I can get more violets. Alright, so there's the par family. Alright, that took long enough. But I got four hashed out just like that, so now we can go on to the other guys. How about Frozone? Let's do Frozone. Kind of got like a pencil thin mustache going on. Let me go switch this back here. Right, so there's a Frozone there. Sorry, I was really concentrating on this one. But maybe it's time for another cup of tea. Another spot of tea. Oh, hello, Maya. Welcome to Scribble Time with Pandas. Good to meet you. See, I read these things, although I'm very can get carried away sometimes. So there's Frozone. I think we can't really do The Incredibles without Edna. Edna Mode. I think I've drawn her before a long time ago, but she's so good though. Need to be more dramatic head tilt. With her, like, I don't know, her armor mail or something like that. That's such a ridiculous character, but so good. I don't know. Edna Mode. It's always difficult to. This one's a little bit difficult, so sorry if you're following it from home and trying to redraw this, because I'm running into some proportion stuff because Edna is so she's so short. but I also want to get this pose right. So what I'm going to do is try to exaggerate her outfit a bit. Maybe that's a bit much. Yes, darling. Yeah, we just drop this around like so. Block that out in texture. That way, this feels a little bit like a cleaner silhouette. No capes. All right, that took a while. Man, I figured that was going to be an easy one, but I guess it wasn't going to take that much, or it ended up taking more time than I thought. Okay, how about, let's do, who else from The Incredibles should I do? Well, let's do Syndrome, of course. He's the villain. I'm surprised though in The Incredibles that Mr. Incredible was able to recognize Billy. I'm your biggest fan. Of course, he has his big gauntlets where he has his control pad. Alright, so we got Syndrome, then we got 1, 2, 3. You guys have any suggestions out there? We also got Rick Dicker. Actually, the Omnidroid actually would be cool. Overall, what a really great design. Wait, this thing had 5 legs, right? Oh, I guess it did have 5 legs. Well, how about that? Let's fix that then. So that means let's bring this out a little bit closer to here. Okay, then we got this. It's like, is he always this quiet? Usually. I can be more chatty, but let's see. And yeah, I have actually seen the second movie, so in case you're... Of course, I'm always gonna like the first one better. I think the sequel had... The only thing about the sequel that I didn't like is that I was able to figure out who the bad guy was right away. So that kind of spoiled it for me. Not that I'm gonna offer spoilers, but I felt like the last few movies I've been watching feel like I've been able to spot them out pretty easily. And part of that comes from just watching a lot of films over the years. So maybe that's a little bit of my fault. But I think a movie like The Incredibles is kind of made for people who have already seen movies before. So I'm not going to give them that excuse. But I still enjoyed the film. Nonetheless, it's just... I think it's a challenge to try to... how to subvert the audience's expectations and give them something cool in a new way. That's a difficult thing to do, especially with something as like superheroes. Let's do one more arm, or we got two more arms, right? You know what? This kind of doesn't make sense because he's basically sitting on the. He's got two. I just realized this. He's got two arms up, or he's got. Oh goodness. Okay, so that I'll do this then. This will make it a little bit easier. I just realized he is totally unbalanced. He would basically be propping himself using the three arms in the front. I guess he could be pulling on it technically, but let's fix that. Yeah, so anyways, I'm going to give the punching panda. That was pretty bad. Mistake on my part. Okay. Let's do, yeah, Rick Dicker last. And then we'll call that a day for today's session. Well, that's all we got. So thanks again for hanging out. It's been real fun today. I like doing these guys. These are first time I've drawn Rick Dicker as a panda, and any of these guys was pandas. So you can find these as coloring sheets on punchingpandas.com/scribbletime. Link is in the description. If you like what you saw today, feel free to like this button. Also subscribe if you like. If you want to see more content or get notifications, to get notifications, you can just hit the bell. That's once you subscribe. There's a little bell icon that you can click on, and that will alert you to when I'm going to be doing these streams. So I'm usually I'm usually doing these streams during the 2 p.m. Pacific time. So if you guys feel so inclined, you guys, I will be here at that time. So just trying to get this one last thing in here. What's going on here? I think that feels a little bit better. All right. I think we can call that good. All right, you guys. Well, I will see you next week. So today's Friday. We're going to take the weekend off. So it was a lot of fun doing these drawings for you guys. And again, feel free to check out punchypandas.com/scribbletime for the coloring sheets. But also check out the rest of the site. There's also prints, books, stickers, and the like. So anyways, have a great weekend, everyone, and stay safe and healthy. Bye.